This is episode 255, and today I want to talk to you about bioresonance. I've broken the video down into some sections for you. We're going to talk initially about frequency and vibration, then about resonance, sympathetic resonance. I'm going to talk about helpful and harmful frequencies, and the ones you can't hear are the particularly harmful ones, not all of them, but some of them. And then I'm going to show you a Biomedis Trinity bioresonance device, explain some of the functions and how it works. And then I'm going to show you a couple of videos, one by a woman called Elena, where she will explain the detoxification and filtration process in the body and how the Biomedis Trinity device and specific sessions within that can help enhance and improve that. And I'm also going to show you an interview I did with a woman who, in her words, would not want to be without it. So let's begin. Resonance and frequency. Everything is vibration and frequency, and everything is affected by it, and it does affect everything. Your words, both spoken and written, emanate of frequency, and this has a direct effect on reality. In many cases, they're like swords, and you want to make sure that if it's being a sword, you want to be holding on to the handle and not the blade. We experience reality through vibrational decoders in our senses: hearing, taste, touch, sound, and gut feel. So if we define resonance, it is defined as the state or quality of being resonant, the prolongation of sound by reflection, reverberation. In other words, if you have a couple of guitars and they are tuned, when you play the string on one, if the other one is sat next to it, one of the strings, the matching string, will vibrate. The same with all string instruments. The same on pianos, which of course is another string instrument. I'm going to show you a couple of examples in here. Number one, take a look at this frog. And notice how he adjusts himself in the water, and then see what happens as he starts to sing his song, as it were, to the water. Now, I did a video about cymatics, which is where you can take a metal plate, you apply a frequency to it, and you have, I think, sand applied to the top of that, and the sand creates geometric shapes in response to the frequency being applied to that. So I'll just play this through for you now. the reason for showing you this is because I really want you to get it, that frequencies are affecting you all the time. And these are just the sound frequencies that I'm showing you right now. Although, again, with the cymatics, if you get the frequencies high enough, they go beyond the vibrational decoding range that your ears have, and they still happen. And we know that, and again, in life, if you've heard anyone with a dog whistle, you can't hear the whistle, but the dog clearly can, as an example. Or this one here, and again, I showed this in another video, where there is a water hose tied to a speaker, and there is a frequency generator attached to the speaker. And look what happens here when frequency is applied to the water. And remember that your body is primarily made up of water. Or here with these tuning forks, where when you apply the tuning fork next to each other, the other one, if it's of the same frequency, vibrates at the same rate.
This is an example of how you can use frequencies to affect other objects tuned to the same frequency. This man is striking a tuning fork that vibrates at a certain frequency. He is trying to get another tuning fork of a different resonant frequency to vibrate, unsuccessfully. Only when he uses a tuning fork set to the same resonant frequency will it vibrate. Watch how the second tuning fork is activated. This is called sympathetic resonance.
And just as an additional one here, the frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies in particular, for example 528 Hertz, is used for DNA repair. Sound is very powerful, frequencies are very powerful. Or you have these random oscillators that have started at different rates, and over time they line themselves up so that we align to frequencies that we're exposed to. Rather like you hear about in large offices, schools, buildings, that the women's periods tend to align themselves.
This video clip is an example of the phenomenon using pendulum oscillators of different phases on a common platform suddenly sync up given enough time.
Or here with graphene oxide that has several resonant frequencies that it responds to, and that's something you might want to think about as well. Now, there are many frequencies, many of which could be helpful, but many of which are harmful. And I think if you could see them, if you could hear them, you would be staggered at the number we're exposed to. And you can get something like a tri-field meter so that you can have a look and a listen, an audible representation, if you will, of what's going on. Examples of harmful EMR and EMF, electromagnetic radiation and electromagnetic frequency, would be things like Wi-Fi. And it's interesting to note with the Wi-Fi from your router in your house, the ones that are set around 2.6 gigahertz, which is many of them, that, from what I've read, is the frequency at which it prevents your brain from producing melatonin, which is a very important, one of the most important antioxidants in your body. Another example would be Bluetooth, and how many of us use Bluetooth speakers around the house or Bluetooth speakers in our car, Bluetooth headsets, where we're surrounding our brain with the radiation. Another example would be the mobile phones. And I know the phone industry goes on and on and on, their marketing departments and their health departments, to tell you that they're safe. But once you start applying some questions, do some research, do some digging, you will realize that that is not the case. And we're talking about 2G, 3G, 4G, and of course 5G, which when you look at it looks like just another step in the chain, but it's something completely different. The military have developed weapons, sonic weapons. They also have ADS weapons, active denial systems, which affect your skin. People say it's like opening the door of an oven and being exposed to loads of heat. And of course they say they're non-damaging, but that is something you can't see, and here's a quick video clip to show you that.
Boasts a reach far beyond any other non-lethal system.
Well, it's a versatile system, and it has a range of non-lethal capability that we can't even come close to with any of our fielded systems today that are in our military forces.
About 7 football fields to give it some perspective. It can deter individuals on a military perimeter all the way up to a riotous crowd, all without permanent harm.
It only penetrates 1/64 of an inch of your skin, goes very shallow into where your nerve receptors are.
Now we're surrounded by this electro-smog. We're immersed in it. And there are growing numbers of people who've become very electrosensitive, where they literally have to hide away from all of it. They can't be near any of it. They're extremely miserable, and what a horrible way to have to live, especially when, because you can't see these frequencies, many people don't think they're doing anything to them. And I've read as well that Biomedis Trinity device, which we'll look at in a little bit, appears to have helped people in that. Now, as far as healing goes, if you look at all healers, they set themselves to a specific frequency, if you will, and the person being healed brings themselves to that. There is no assertion, it's all attraction. So healing frequencies, as examples, could be used to help diabetes, detoxification of heavy metals, and general daytime and nighttime detoxification programs. Poisoning, particularly food poisoning, an improvement in eyesight, and that's one of the things I've noticed in using this Biomedis device, is that I'm in front of screens quite a lot. I'm in front of 2 right now recording this. And that during the course of the day, my eyes tend to get sore and my vision got quite blurry. Now, I do take regular breaks, I go outside, but since wearing the device, I've noticed that my eyes really don't get sore and they don't get anywhere near as tired. And my eyesight has improved, particularly at nighttime, which is interesting. Joint pain, arthritis, a general reduction in pain, effective for Lyme disease, and there are many more, and we'll discuss some of those. In fact, what I'll do, I think, is I'll put a PDF link to the webpage, which will be in the description of this video and podcast, so that you can go and have a look. Or frequencies can strengthen your musculoskeletal, why can't I say that word? Musculoskeletal system, nervous system, skin, cardiovascular system, respiratory, digestive system, urinary, endocrine, and reproductive systems. It can help prevent premature aging. It can help your body eliminate toxic substances through your filtering systems. Another example of helpful frequencies are a cat's purr. And also for us, humming, which is something we don't do. And have you noticed, by the way, that we tend to get all of our sound, or a lot of our sonic input, if you will, from a device we held in our hand, which also emits EMR and EMF? And if you've never looked into sound therapy, that's a really interesting one too. And for me, it's such a magical experience. So the question then is how? How do we get these good frequencies? What can we do? Royal Raymond Rife identified these frequencies and was a very, very smart and deep thinker. And if you look at his machine, you can buy one now, I think, or a similar one called a Spooky 2. I've not really looked into that, but that has been mentioned when I was doing my research. And that plays single frequencies. And I've also read about people where they combine the frequencies, so they put like a whole session together. They have tremendous health results. So let's now move on to the Biomedis Trinity device. And when I said I was going to talk about this, Biomedis did ask me to do a disclaimer. And I'll put the full disclaimer in the description, but there's a couple of things to be aware of. Number one, this is not a medical device, which you should be thankful for. And I'm not giving you medical advice at all, which again is probably a good thing. The device itself is quite small. It can be worn on your body, on the lanyard, in your pocket, or you could have it with a specific program nearby your body. It applies certain technologies that they developed, multi-frequency synchronization, they refer to that as MFS, and also it can scan and adjust to your specific body frequencies. Bioresonance therapy, BRT, structural resonance therapy, SRT, and transcranial magnetic stimulation and psychosomatic pathology correction method, which sounds like a big mouthful, and I'm pretty certain from looking at the unit applies to helping normalize your brainwaves. Now, we talked about sympathetic resonance, and that's pretty much, as I understand it, how the device works, that it plays you the correct frequency for different elements. So if you did a detox, when you look into the machine or the device program here, it shows you a whole range of things that it's going to go through, which is what we talked about briefly before about playing multiple sessions together. It's got adjustable strength, it's got 4 different modes, and the device itself plays these in an automated fashion. It's also programmable, so you could create sub-programs within that. I've not done that, but I understand that you can do that. It's updatable. So here's a video clip of me putting it on like I do most days now and wearing it. Now what I'd like to do is read you a couple of testimonials from their website. I got diagnosed with tennis elbow back in 2014. I was blown away that through using the Trinity device, I've experienced a 90% reduction in pain and improved movement. I'm looking forward to using this device going forward. And that was Mr. Mark Spender, Florida, USA. After using my Trinity device on the detoxing program for around a month, I'm amazed to discover my eyesight has improved to a point where I no longer require my reading glasses. Simply amazing. Brian Clayton, Cumbria, UK. I suffer with severe anxiety and negative thoughts daily, which has resulted in me not wanting to leave my home. I've been using this device now for around 2 months after it was recommended to me by a friend. I was a little dubious at first, but can honestly say that I've been blown away by how this has helped me and my thought process by using the anxiety program. I've made huge progress in such a short space of time, and I'm on the right path to becoming myself again. I cannot recommend this enough. Mary, 43, Dublin, Ireland. Monthly cycle pain has decreased to a minimum and is so much more manageable, allowing me to get on with my day-to-day life. Wish I'd come across the Trinity device sooner. Thank you, Biomedis Global. Anna Falshaw, Canada. After a Vega test showing high amounts of heavy metals, I used the Trinity device for 4 weeks. I then went back and had another Vega test, and my results showed a 60% reduction in heavy metals. That has given me the confidence to use my Trinity device every day now. Alan Brownlow, Longford, Australia. Now, the device is reasonably costly at £530, but that's less than the cost of a phone, and the phone, of course, will be doing you harm. Of course, the phones are offered on a payment plan. I wouldn't be without the device now. I think it's an incredibly useful addition for me, and it certainly helps because we're exposed to all of these really unpleasant frequencies that are just dragging us all over the place, and this really helps, to me, insulate, I think, and isolate ourselves from that so that we can get on with our lives again. Now, if you're interested in the device, there is a link in the description which will take you to my webpage, and then you can follow the affiliate link from there, and I'll also put the affiliate link in the description. Now, what I'd like to do now is to play you a video by Elena. She'll talk about detoxification, and then I would encourage you to stick around through that and to the end and watch the video I did with a woman called Charlie, where she talks about why she's using the device and what she's got from it. And with that in mind, you guys are amazing. I'm looking forward to speaking to you in the next video, which will be actually about mind mapping. And enjoy watching these 2 short videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Substances on a daily basis. The exhaust fumes from your car has lead and sulfur dioxide. The fish we often eat is a source of mercury. Your favorite brand of cigarettes has cadmium. Vegetables and fruits are treated with pesticides and herbicides. Your favorite non-stick cookware becomes a constant source of aluminium at the slightest scratch. A huge number of people carry radioactive isotopes and don't even know about it. During the bioresonance diagnostic tests I offer in clinic, I see high stages of homotoxicosis in almost all primary patients. So, in simple words, this is the accumulation of toxins and heavy metals. So you need to know that chronic heavy metal poisoning hides behind a variety of diseases. So how can one suspect chronic poisoning with heavy metals and other toxic substances? If you feel chronic fatigue or irritability, if you have depression, you suffer from bronchial asthma, dermatitis, any kind of allergies, if you have faced cancer, in these cases, the chance of chronic intoxication is very high. All diseases as a result of poor immunity indicate chronic intoxication. Chronic intoxication can also be a reason of many neurological problems. The founder of the School of Homotoxicology, Reykjavik, identified 6 stages of homotoxicosis, and stages 5 and 6 are pre-oncological. When the body begins to accumulate, localize toxins and tumors. Therefore, when we start correcting the state of health using Trinity, we first of all include drainage and detoxification complexes. Our bodies have filter organs. Their task is to efficiently neutralize and remove toxins from the body. The main ones are liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system, and additional filter organs are skin, lungs, and mucous membranes. If the main organs don't cope with the detoxification process, then additional ones are there to help. And then the release of toxins occurs through the skin, respiratory tract, mucous membranes, and all this is manifested as allergies, dermatitis, eczema, bronchial asthma. So one of the tasks of bioresonance therapy is to restore the effective operation of the main filter organs. So how it works, your question may be. A signal with the frequency of a healthy cell, such as the liver for example, is sent to the body. According to the law of resonance, the electromagnetic potential of the liver cells or any other filter organ begins to pull up to the normal physiological potential. As a result, the function of filter organs improves and the detoxification process becomes more efficient. So, what Trinity complexes should be applied? Basic daytime, basic nighttime, and detox from radionuclides. Basic daytime complex and detox from radionuclides complexes are applied in the morning or in the afternoon. Basic nighttime complex is applied in the nighttime. The complexes should be applied for at least 1 month, and the Trinity detoxification must be done at least twice per year. These complexes contain many programs that support and restore organs and systems. They're simply necessary for chronic intoxication with heavy metals and other chemicals. And of course, the complexes contain detox programs. These are heavy metal detox, electrosmog and radiation detox, chemical detox, blood and lymph cleansing, kidney, lung, liver detox, and a general deep cleansing of the body. There are specific, very important programs included, such as DNA repair and cell regeneration. This set of programs provides a comprehensive bioresonance approach to detoxifying the body. And during the course, it is recommended to drink as much filtered water as possible, as the elimination of toxins through all excretory systems is enhanced. Approximately 30 milliliters per 1 kilo of body weight. As a specialist in bioresonance diagnostics, I see and record the results of the application of Trinity detox complexes in action. After using Trinity complexes, I always do secondary diagnosis of my patients, and I observe a pronounced decrease in the amount of toxic substances in the body up to their complete disappearance. And patients feel it in their well-being, and they're very, very grateful. So, use Trinity with pleasure, achieve your personal results in recovery, and please don't get sick. And see you soon.
Charlotte, thanks so much for taking time out of your Sunday to speak to me.
You're very welcome. Happy to be here.
Good, good. I wanted to have a chat with you about the Biomedis bioresonance device you've been using. So if we could start with a little bit of history about the health reason or the health problems you were having with and why you wanted to have a go at it and see what it would do for you.
Yeah, of course. So I have suspected endometriosis. I say suspected because they claim the only way to tell if you have it is to do some digging around with surgery. So I've not done that. But I have all the supposed symptoms. Basically, it's just things aren't happy. It makes me very tired. I have a lot of pain, especially around periods. But it was kind of sneaking into my everyday life as well. And I do a lot of things. I have DMSO, magnesium. I eat pretty much raw vegan, distilled water, you name it, I do it. But I just still needed some extra help. And so I was told about the Biomedis device. And I thought, why not? And I wear it 24/7 and would not be without it.
Okay, so what in terms of the pain and the discomfort you were in without the device, what level out of 10, where 10 is you just can't do anything and 1's really nothing, where would you say you were sat normally approaching a period or in a period?
So period, mine lasts for 10 days as well, which is lovely. So for 3 days of that, it's a level 10. And I have repeat prescription of codeine actually to deal with that on my period, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to go to work and I wouldn't be able to move because I actually throw up a lot of the time. It kind of varies for the rest of the month. It used to just be I'd have maybe 1 day a week where it'd be about a level 8, but it had reached the point where it was about 5 days of the week were around a level 7 and the other days were about a level 5. So there was no day where I wasn't in pain.
Okay.
Um,
And then since getting the device, you said you're using it all the time.
yeah. So since getting it, as soon as I put it on, I did notice a big difference. I relaxed when I put it on, which I didn't realize how much tension I'd had in my body, and how when you're in pain, I think you just hold yourself very tight all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, so straight away a benefit. I noticed my digestion, even on the endometriosis setting, was better because I was struggling to eat and I wasn't digesting food very well, which got even better when I tried the digestion setting. But I think I still get pain every day, but it's not all day every day. It's more like little bits, usually around ovulation and period time. But I definitely noticed a difference without the Biomed device because, for example, the other day when I went paddleboarding, obviously I didn't wear it because water. And I know it's a hard activity to do, but I was just really, really knackered by the time I came out. And not just physically, I was just drained. I felt like there was a leech on my energy. And as soon as I put my Biomed back on, within the hour, I just felt more stable again.
Okay. All right. So what is your understanding of how it works? Have you looked into that?
Not too much. Bizarrely, I just put my trust in it. I know it's to do with frequencies, unless I'm mistaken. And you can hear when it changes, depending on the settings, which is actually really nice. I like that. Honestly, no, I've not looked into it too much, other than just read through a bit of the pamphlet that came with it.
Yeah.
I just had to scroll through the settings. I tried out a few different ones.
There's a lot of them too.
There's a lot of settings. So actually, that's interesting. The other week, well, maybe 3 weeks ago, I broke my toe and I put it onto the broken bone setting. And so my toe wasn't like purple or anything, but I couldn't walk properly. It just had like a line of purple across it. I think I just did it on the knuckle. And so for the first 3 days, I couldn't wear shoes. And then I put it on the bone setting consistently. And on day 4, I was back in trainers. And within a week, I was walking normally, which is bananas because the previous time when I broke my toe, it took me about 4 months. Yeah, to get better from that. So yeah, I haven't dug into it too much, but I'm kind of that way. I mean, I've been told previously about magnesium and DMSO, and someone tells me the benefits of it, and I just put all my faith into it. If it's worked for them, I don't need to do my research, if that makes any sense. It might be naive, but if I believe it's going to work, I know it's going to work for me. So
it's not naive because you're told by people that know what they're talking about, because I know what you're like.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm like. Okay, so is it something that you would consider being without, or is it going to stay part of your kind of apothecary, and it's something that if you need it, you'll wear it? So you're using it all the time right now, but it's possible things could settle down. It's just something you have to touch from time to time. I don't know, because I have one and I use it not every day now, but occasionally. And I do find it does make a difference. One of my favorite ones is like the daytime detox. If I'm sat inside, and I'll use it then.
Yeah. I think because it's got so many settings, I don't see myself not using it every day. So I have branched off from the endometriosis setting. I don't actually use that every day anymore. So for example, today I've got the dental program on because I've got some wisdom teeth issues coming in, and I haven't had to take any painkillers for that today, which I normally would do because I get really bad migraines from my wisdom teeth. So to the point where I can't see. And today, no headaches, which is lovely. I also use the sleep setting at night, and there's a setting that's a bit for astral projection. I like that for lucid dreaming. So for me, I think it will be a permanent daily usage, but the program I use will vary. They also have I can never say it right. There's one for period pain, which is dysmenorrhea, something like that. I've been using that one on my periods, which has actually really helped. So my last period was 7 days instead of 10. I don't know if that is contributed to by this. I think it is because they've always been 10. So for it to cut down by 3 days is quite rare for me. But I also, by using that program, I only took codeine 1 day out of that period instead of my usual 3 to 5.
Wow.
So that was a really big difference for me, and a lot better for my liver and everything, because I really feel the negative side effects of codeine. And you know me quite well. I don't like to take painkillers unless I absolutely have to. I would rather drink like 2 liters of water and bomb everything else in that I can, but it's the only thing that touches it on the bad days.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to say to anyone that would think about it? Because they are expensive machines, but if they work, don't they? And I think for me, it's something I think that every household, if you've got the finances available, should consider having one, because it's just such a useful thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think I have the benefit of luckily being able to try it before I'd, like I got to try it. I got to see if it worked for me. I think everyone should at least have one in the household. Obviously when you've got the frequency on you, it's still emitting around you as well. So everyone around you would benefit in the house, if I'm correct in that. So you only need one really. I know they're expensive, but given all the different settings, like the arthritis settings and all of that and everything they've got on there, everything. Not sure I'll ever get through all the settings.
They're programmable too. You can create a series that it went through a different sequence during the day. So it was one, then the other, then the other. You can get it to do that as well, from what I've read.
Yeah, so I've not set that up myself yet because I kind of like to pick and choose on the day what I need to target. I think if people have the funds to be able to try it, I would say absolutely. Even if your household just all chips in for it, it's so worth it. It really is. I'd hate to be without mine, I think. Yeah.
Good. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I wish you luck with that.